Follow along with me as I engage in this somatic tapping exercise. I'm just starting by creating some movement in the body, rolling the shoulders, rolling the neck a little bit, warming up the spine here, just kind of creating some movement, breaking up some of the energy in the body that might be heavy or stagnant and just needs to be worked through a little bit. And then you see me bringing the movement up through the arms, just kind of circling the arms back. And something I really like to do to kind of soothe the nervous system, kind of connect with the body, is just taking my arms, wrapping them around, giving myself a nice hug, and just settling into the warmth, the care that's associated with this, kind of rocking back and forth, and then starting to engage in the tapping along the back of the shoulders, and then bringing that tapping to the front of the shoulders, engaging in some bilateral butterfly tapping here, just kind of tapping the collarbones gently. And I'm actually going to stay with this tapping right here at the collarbone for a little bit, up into the chest. I notice that I have a lot of tension in this area, so just really working up the tension here in the chest and kind of noticing, following it where it goes. So maybe I feel some energy in the top of the shoulders to work up, or even in the back. I invite you, as you're doing this practice, to just sort of notice where you feel inclined to sort of tap, noticing how your body is responding as you're engaging in the tapping, and just following it, being present with it for a minute, and allowing yourself to be curious and explore. Somatic tapping is also referred to as the emotional freedom technique, and there are different ways that this can look. Sometimes there is sort of a script or words and phrases that is associated with the tapping. I won't be using a script today. I'm just tapping and breathing through this process. The breath is a key part of somatic practice as well. So, being mindful of the breath, maybe seeing if the breath starts to slow down, or maybe you are able to just sort of release and settle into the breath as you engage in the movement, in the tapping, waking up these different sensations in the body. As you'll see, I've kind of worked my way up to the muscles in the face. We tend to hold a lot of tension in our face, in our brows. You see this a lot in the furrowed brow. We hold a lot of tension in our jaw and our neck muscles. And so I'm just tapping along these areas of the body to create some sensation and some movement. And then from there, I'm working my way back down to the chest. I'm going to engage in that bilateral tapping stimulation again, crossing the arms. And keep in mind that I'm inviting you to follow along with me, but everything is an invitation. Only you are in your body, and only you know what you need. So I also encourage you to notice what you feel intuitively led to do. You might notice that you begin to want to tap into other areas of the body, and so allow yourself to do that, remembering that there's no right or wrong way that this has to look. As you'll see, I'm continuing the tapping along the sides of the arms and underneath the arms, really tapping into the side of the body as well. One of my first jobs ever was working at an early children's learning center, and this reminds me of when we would put the kids down to sleep, and kids who were maybe a little bit restless or just wanted some support going to sleep, we would sit next to them and pat their backs. And even the most disruptive, restless kiddos would kind of get into this relaxed state fairly quickly when their backs were just patted down. And I just think that that's one of the beautiful things about somatics is that we're not engaging in a lot of new practices. We're kind of just coming back to things that we have probably already done or come across and that have been regulating to us in some way. If you're still following along with me, thank you. I hope that this practice was supportive or informative to you. If you've tried somatic tapping or other somatic practices, I would love to know your thoughts. Feel free to share in the comments below. And be sure to check out part 2 of this video where I talk in detail about how somatics and breath work can help to break up and shift stagnant energy in the body.